we'll go from there.
That's the wife of the defendant, Curtis Reeves, talking with police immediately after this happened, explaining to them that she didn't hear the Mr. Olson say anything specific in terms of a threat, but that he was at one point standing over them and leading towards them while they were sitting in their movie theater seats just before the shooting. April Preyar is still with us. She's in Chicago. April, how important is the information that not only the defendant but his wife gave to police immediately afterwards, no matter what they say on the witness stand, if and when they take the stand?
Well, those are usually the most important statements because the incident is fresh in your mind. It just happened. There's no lapse in memory. And people conveniently change their stories. Either their memory changes or they make them fit what their possible defense might be. So those are the most important statements. And I mean, we just watched the clip from the wife, but I recall in Mr. Reeves' clip, he really just said, hey, I can't get beat up at 71. Like, he didn't really seem that fearful. He said, yeah, you know, I can't have a whipping at my age. And those statements will be certainly considered by the jury. If Mrs. Reeves were to suddenly hit the stand and say that she remembered the conversation and she remembered seeing things differently, she will be confronted by these statements that she made, you know, within hours of this horrible incident taking place.
Yeah, it really hit home when he said, yeah, I've got a grieving family here who just lost a loved one. You can just imagine what was going on in their minds at that point, especially his wife, who we're going to hear from her attorney in just a bit. She talked to our Judge Ashley yesterday, so we'll play some of that this morning as well. As we move forward here, what do you expect Curtis Reeves to take the stand here? I mean, most self-defense cases, you would see it, but because of this lengthy interview that he did with law enforcement right afterwards, does he have to, A, and should he, B?
He does not have to, but my guess is he will, and that is really just based on more of my observations of him and his demeanor, his ego, his background. You have to remember that police officers are normally professional witnesses, whether they've testified on 100 traffic tickets or they've testified on 10 dozen raids. He's likely to take the stand so that he can talk about his expertise. The problem is his demeanor, his size, his girth, all work against him. I know that he's been walking into court with a cane, and you know, and he might seem more feeble now than he did 8 years ago. But those are all things that work against him. But I think he's a bit of an egomaniac based on the statements that others have said, that he's done this similar thing in the same movie theater and followed some woman to the bathroom who was texting shortly before this incident. I don't think they could keep him off the stand if they tried, because I think he's going to want to tell his story and he's going to want to clarify whatever he believes was left out of the lengthy interview, or that he wants to now spin differently.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It'll be fascinating to see, but that's a good point. If he is in charge of his defense, which one might believe, given what we've heard about him being in charge of other things in his life, then maybe he demands to take the stand. We'll find out soon enough. Opening statements on Monday, and again, as soon as the judge is on the bench, we'll take you live into the courtroom for those crucial pretrial motions that are going to be argued, the motions in limine this morning in Florida. Coming up, the attorney who represents the wife.